porn star. She wore a porn star t-shirt that night, and years later all the old folks would say ain't nothing open but legs after midnight. She would hear her name united with slut on the daily. Newspapers and media outlets would allude to her being a hoe who was out to get paid royally. She was young. Like Jill Scott's thickness, her mind was clouded with video beauty, no inner peace seduced by images that reduced love to physical degradation. When she was 9, she had met him. Hearing about him from neighborhood boys who spoke of being baby daddies after his words instructed their teenage lusts, and while all of them went half on a baby, few of them went half on the support of the baby, preferring to show up with Pampers and formula and a tape of the music that instructed them to create another life without condoms to control the impending fucked up cycle. When she was 9, she had met him. Alone in her living room, her mother in her bedroom with a male companion, hushed voices of ecstasy were drowned out by the erotic pleasures exuding from the tube. We like to believe children understand mythology, but know the difference between fact and fiction. Yet she believed him when he said that he had been hurt and abused, and believed him when he said that she was the only one who could find the cure. She had fallen in love with the images of supposed truth, cars and money and love and lust, all combining to make a stew of miseducation. When she was 15, she had met him. Having had a love affair with him for years, and his lost boy because of dead mama, bad boy because of shady women representation, reinforced the belief that a good woman can change a bad man. She was shy around him, drugged backstage by eager older siblings. She wore a porn star t-shirt and stood in the corner waiting for him to acknowledge her. She wore a porn star t-shirt the night they first lay together, her 15-year-old body blooming, open and curious, too young to understand the complexities of making love. He promised her a life of fortune and fame with his silky sweet whispers, and his fingers lingered just a little too long where her underwear met that crease just above her thigh. He told her his mama would approve of this union, and her mama wouldn't need to know about this sexual communion, so he dipped into the spring of her pussy like dew on rose petals. She melted in the sun of his orgasm. All the while she wondered just what had really happened. Smelling like sweat, ass, and piss, she didn't understand why she had been dismissed. She wore a porn star t-shirt the night she saw her face on the local news. Superstar tapes 15-year-old girl in the nude. Mama sitting in shock and dismay. Current boyfriend pissed off, stalks out of the house, never shows up again. She's been young and foolish. Passed it off as a moment when she didn't know better. She remembered the nights she wrote him love letters. She remembered the fancy cars and the long drives, the nights he spent money and the nights they got high. She remembered every moment he said he loved her, couldn't live without her, would make her a star. Shit, how could she ever doubt him? At 21, her face had been everywhere. New loves came but left when they remembered the first time ever they saw her face was from a bootleg copy of a superstar's fucked up sex tape. In truth, she never screwed around. When he kicked her to the curb, she kept her head down. But it's the shadow of his presence that ruined her present, even though her essence had been mending since their affair had ended. She's like little girl lost, another sad loss of dignity to tragedy. Fiction turned reality without the fairy tale ending. Subject to ridicule, denied her voice, pained by a past, too young to be considered a fool, too old to not understand her choice. Truth be told, her sins are not just her own. Her sins belong to a collective mindset that says teenage sex is condoned, and you got boys who barely shave talking about do me, baby, young girls under 15 wearing less clothes than they should be. We consider our babies to be grown when they're 13, but get angry when we find them doing something dirty. We hate on the man that turns young girls out, but we need to hate on ourselves for allowing this bullshit to come about.